morning, Dr. Brad. How are you this morning?
Can't be better. Fresh cup of coffee in my Black Swan mug.
Thank you for having patience while I filled mine. What is today? Today is Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. This is a working session for the book, the volume 1, The System of Measurement. We are working through the book, and Brad came up with can't believe it, ridiculously profound. I can't believe we missed it. Oversight last night, but the book's in better shape than I thought. So today we're going to work sovereignty into the project. I have a question for Dr. Brad. All right, so we are on page 140. I'm going to just make a note here. And I want to go to the introduction. And I'm afraid you will judge me too quickly. We made this note that we had to answer the crisis of the age thoroughly, right? And so I've been working on that, which is a lot of it's just similar to what I wrote for the presentation.
Okay.
Right. And let me just make things. Probably going to have a different opinion. So I'm explaining how we got here, basically.
Okay.
And it turns out I'm writing quite a bit about it.
Okay.
So let's see. It's not really true, is it? It's less than 20 pages. And compared to well, this is history, right? If you take this compared to, let's say, this.
Wait, we're not sharing, Curt.
Oh shit. I did it again, didn't I?
Apparently.
I don't realize how I can do that get that wrong so consistently.
There we go. Okay.
All right, so if we go to, oh shit, if I go to introduction.
Yes.
We felt that we had to answer this question, and I can't tell if I'm over answering the question. And so I took mostly the work I did for the presentation.
Right.
I rewrote it all, but I mean, it's basically the same argument. See, this is the problem. That font is just not working.
There you go.
It needs more of that. It's quite a bit of, I don't know, I just reviewed it. I thought it was too much. Maybe it's not. Our argument in this book is, and then I go into a bit of history, right?
Right.
Right. And I'm telling the history of how this is really starts getting deeper. It's starting how we got our high trust society, basically,
Okay.
right? And I felt pretty good about this section, which was how the manor versus the manorial system formed a polity,
Ah,
whereas the rest of the world maintained the familial networks. I think that's
yes,
giving us.
yes.
So I'm just going through the impact.
Very useful. That's very useful.
All right. Okay, good. I'm getting.
No, I regard this as an essential function here that you're performing, which is providing contextual information for the entirety of the work, which includes the subsequent volumes,
Yes.
which is essential. That's essential work.
Right. So I was going to handle each of these things which I consider the percolation of change through European civilization.
Oh, that will be a very good read.
Okay, so that I'm getting that's how I interpret it, but I was lacking confidence because I'm like, well, is this really necessary? But it for me, it puts the rest of the work in context.
That's right. And it's important to have that context because it's like, why in the hell are we doing all this work?
Exactly.
Right? And it's very useful. This
Okay,
is the description of the flame driving the change.
correct. So I thought that this would put into context why we're weird. You know, the West is weird, right? Right.
Well, that's the key difference, right?
Yes. And so and the problem, of course, is that we don't treat trust as capital,
Hmm.
right? We don't.
But it's not a demonstrated interest, right?
Correct. We don't treat it. We don't treat it. We don't treat it.
That's a useful.
So
Needs that close quote.
where did I do that? There we go. What's the deal here? There we go. I don't like when they do that. I like it when they do. Oh, fuck it. Smart quotes. In
You could do it.
in tech, we distinguish between we use this. See, I can't even do it here. Was there a way to do it? Can't even do it. So you have the back tick, right?
Yeah.
So I can't make this show me. It automatically changes it from
No.
to a right smart quote. So I need to figure out where the keys are so I can separate smart quotes from dumb quotes. All right. All right. I want to handle that. So that's a big one.
You feel better having explained that?
I do because, as usual, it's one thing for me to have an idea, it's another once you say that makes sense.
Ah.
Right.
And I like the reiteration of the timeline. That's nice.
So,
You could write some dates in there on that timeline.
and use dates. I think I'm gonna put them in the back.
Yeah. I was reviewing history here. And it caused me to be very interested in that this sequence that you're describing.
Okay.
With the, and it goes back to Egypt. The way I was looking at it, because it's like, what happened here? What has gone on here with the civilizations? And it was in the context of that article that you posted on X that was the single theory, the single civilization theory, which was quite an interesting dissertation, I thought.
It's a different take on the Whig history, the argument of Whig history.
Yes,
Right. It's a different take on that.
but the issue being aristocratic.
Yeah.
And aristocratic is funny because it's like there are so few aristocrats, right? That they work together in ways that they don't work together in any other civilization that doesn't have aristocracy.
Right. I think it's interesting. How do you tell the difference between aristocracy? There we go. Make that note here. No, I'm going to lose it if I put it there. I'll remember at this point. All right. So,
Oh my.
what?
Genetic pacification.
I have that in there. I'm going to use this one.
Let's get back to work, GPT.
No.
We're not playing here. Look at all those Doolittles.
Okay. I know this might be something. Don't watch what you're typing.
Right. Ah, that's very subtle.
Kingdom and monarchy. And then we apply these terms to the political orders of other civilizations.
Yeah.
They aren't this, while in the crudest sense, they reflect the concentration of power.
Boy, oh boy.
Now, I could suggest
This is an interesting form. I will interject while you type, if that's okay. Quigley talks about the rule of law in the West and despotism everywhere else. And I think that relates to recognition of the value of human beings individually in the West, which is to say that the aristocrats regard everyone as in group. And the despots do not.
yes. How did you say that?
Treats public, right? That treats as in groups versus the public governed. Okay, that's right. An in group. Whereas the despots regard them as an out group.
Love this. If I sat here for 15 minutes, I could figure that out myself. I could come up with a list, but I love being able to ask this thing. Kingdom of contractual governance. That's what I was looking for.
That's nice. want to see what it does with India. That's kind of an amusing function. Yes.
Oops.
There you have it right there, the summary bit.
Yeah, what is it missing? I had it a moment ago. About Russia.
Yep. It's an imperial function. It's the empire, which limits the in-group potential, which is what got Rome. Is the too many out-group inside dilute the in-group.
What's the weird one in the West? I think it's if in the all right.
Huh. Yep. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Why we still get along with them better. classical one.
Hmm.
Oh, this is interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
It's this Sunni Shia thing.
Yeah.
Oh my,
But
number 8.
say, where's the rest?
Huh.
That's nice.
That has some utility.
Yeah. Any of it go into our work here?
I don't think it's necessary, but it is quite an interesting little thesis, isn't it? We might save it for a later date. All the way back to Western, yeah. Just because it's that useful.
That's just so I can print it.
There's a function here which I don't quite know how to characterize.
Go ahead.
Which is there's an exponentiation of cooperative potential, which has to do with the scale of potential in social cooperation limited by these functions.
Yeah.
Which is like trust.
I see the centralization, decentralization spectrum is really obvious, right?
There's in-group, out-group function.
In-group, out-group.
And it goes to trust. When the lower class can trust the aristocrat, then they're willing to cooperate in the creation of a civilization in a cooperative fashion. Now I have to read the book on trust because I haven't read it yet.
missed one.
You know, I'm not watching close enough. Distribute, okay.
There was a third one. So what dimensions we're seeing? There's, it's,
Trust, yeah. Yes,
group outgroup, that one is.
yeah. Yeah,
It's all the same thing.
yeah, yeah.
And the practical difference. Right, it's just trust dimension.
So that one, number 4, yeah. Yes. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. They're all the God's will. Wait, so this is interesting. Quigley talks about theodicy, okay?
Theodicy, okay?
And I would have you write it in there because it's that worthy of a word term. So the question is D-I-C-Y, yeah, yeah. Theodicy is the question is, given the fact that God is omnipotent and omnipresent, right? Why is there evil in the world?
Yes.
Okay, so in the West, where we have rule of law, they say that free will is the creator of evil. Okay, it is human choice that makes evil, which is to say we have rule of law. Those places, they have rule of law. Whereas in everywhere else in the world, they say God did it. They're not responsible. This was making me do art. The art was interesting because it's related to, of all places, it's related to the Temple Mount, where Abraham discovered the ram, which allowed him to discover the existence of the good God. And everywhere north and west of that is where there is rule of law.
Or I'll look after that.
North and west of the Temple Mount, which has a I forget the name of the mountain. I'll look it up.
Yeah, but what did you say? They have rule of law?
They have rule of law because that is where they believe in the good God and free will.
Is there a corollary everywhere else?
Everywhere else, they believe that God is responsible. They don't have, the people are not responsible because it's God's will. they don't believe in the existence of free will. So they're slaves to it. Moriah, Mount Moriah. There it is. Next one down. Morih. IAH. Yep.
My mother named one of her dogs Mariah, and I thought it was ridiculous. It was the rat shittiest dog ever, and she loved that stupid thing. I don't like terriers.
I'm glad you threw that in there. It makes it a human story.
Kind of dog that would piss on the carpet, Fucking hated that thing. I had this little Sheltie mix growing up, and fucking saint. Dog was a saint.
So it's interesting if you look at Jerusalem, okay, map. Oh my, working under the duress here. That's where the Holy Mount is, right? The temple, the Mount Moriah is.
Yes.
Okay. And if you look straight north, it includes Moscow and everything west. And it includes a bit of North Africa.
I want to look at that. Give me a second. Why are you doing the wrong typeface?
No, theodicy.
What the hell?
What'd you do? What have you done?
It's me, Brad. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. All right.
Living the dream.
I don't know why, because they don't know evolution. The reason is they don't know evolution.
Ah.
That's why.
So there's a time evolutionary function. That's an interesting take on it. I like that. Just there's a the ancient Greeks would call it, they live in a Saturnalian world.
Yes.
So there's is the consciousness of evolutionary functionality is the key difference.
I don't know how to say that. I don't want to get into that. Don't worry.
I think that's the interesting function is there's a time consciousness function there, as opposed to a self-indulgent function. It's a capitalization issue, right? The one aware of one aware of evolution has a higher potential for capitalization than one who is self-indulgent.
Stop it.
Over longer time periods, right? We could call that the extension of care.
I understand.
Because the question will be like this: why do you care? Right? It's the extension of care. Interest, yes. Demonstrated interest.
Okay. Nice sidebar.
About that, Curt?
All right.
That was a fine little quote. Now you're ready to get back to work?
Yeah, I'm just a little stressed out by what I saw there.
Well,
What does that diamond mean?
whoa. That was a trip.
Oh, you see this here? So why is that got a dot and why did that have a diamond?
I don't know. I saw the diamond. Now it's gone.
I don't fucking know. All right.
Oh. Huh. Very interesting that it will have the answer to this question too.
Oh, that's easy enough.
But-
Saved, unsaved, and active. This is a check mark for active. I don't fucking know what's going on. All right. So I'm trying to back up our conversation. All right. So I only asked you this initial question to make sure I was not going sideways. What you're saying is it's necessary and helpful.
It's exceptionally useful in order to frame the entirety of the work which all follows.
Great. So I'm not going to stress about.
Not at all.
This, I really have some formatting and I need to do some introductory bits. Like in the following section, we're going to discuss blah, blah, blah. And then bullet point, because there's just a brain dump here of which I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah, I know. I went through it yesterday. I was like, wow.
There's just a brain dump of complexity here because it's not clear why we're telling the audience this, but we're really building up the dimensionality of in other words, measurements all the way, the whole spectrum. So
Okay, so how I would do it, I would introduce it as this. We go back to the original problem,
okay,
right, which you just described. And it's the issue has to do with human beings are limited in their capacity for precision in discourse by the language and their thinking about it. And it becomes necessary for us to increase the precision of our discourse in order to improve the precision of our actions in the world.
can't write it down that fast.
Okay.
Human beings,
Sorry. Human beings are limited in their capacity to think about and express ideas as behavior by their use of the language.
and
In it, and to date, we have been limited by our imprecision of language, which we would like to correct with the following section. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Then that frames it in the context of the problem that you mentioned as the start, and then introduces the section.
right, but they're also just, I'm going to make a couple of notes.
Yeah. Yes. From theology, right?
No, we didn't really have theology.
I think they had theology when they were working on both. I don't. I just find
Well,
it doesn't matter.
Rudyard has a good speech on this. At the time, the way they thought of it was that they were doing theology when by the time you get to when you get to Socrates, they think of it in the same way as the rest of the world thought about theology. but more of a, it's depersonalized.
Right.
All right.
But make that all yellow so that you can see it. Yes. That's good. That gives you the introduction you need to make this why are we talking about measurement, brother?
And so I could tie it to the first process. So I'm exposing the.
This is the cause of the problem.
Right. It's the cause. So tie back. How do I say this? So I can tie it back to the explanation
Yes.
that the that in the end that we I'm gonna do the whole thing because I don't want to miss it.
There's a term that I like that's related to this, which is hension.
Which is what?
Hension.
Just
It's
spell it.
apprehension, comprehension, and prehension. It all has to do with grasping. I just wrote it in there dash hension, Hension, okay? Which put a dash in front of it.
Oh, I see. Give me apprehension.
Comprehension, prehension. This is what we're talking about here. Is your tools for hension are limited by your precision of language. You're funny. I just wrote hension in there. Punch it.
I feel like this is worth keeping. I think this is worth.
There you go. You weave it into the narrative that we're creating a increased precision of the language by using language as a measurement tool, right? There's a certain auto-reflective function in using language to express the precision of language, right?
So this is a good introduction. Yes.
That's perfect.
I didn't mean to start on that, but that's turning out pretty good. What size are you? Heading to, okay, that's right. All right. Yeah, the rest of this thing is pretty good. Okay. Can we move on to our other issue now?
Sure.
Or do you want us, you think there's more to be,
No, I think we're doing good.
I think that's, I'll just play a little narrative that, play the narrative. I gotta make sure it flows, basically. I think it does, though. It seems to make sense. So if I tie, it's tying it in.
Yes.
It's that, where's that tie it in? So tie it back, okay. Summarize the calculation.
There's if you look at the
So what we're gonna do.
You ready for this? Oh. That's right. So if we look at the imprecision of, say, philosophy, theology, etc., right?
Yeah.
And we look at societies or civilizations constructed by such means, we see that there's tolerance for social construction of fictional nature.
Well, there has to be, because you've got to go along this.
Right, but it goes to rot. The fictionalisms have a time limit there, or they're not bone or meat. They're just rot, and they go foul, and then the civilization fails. Which is there will be the question of Osiris, right? Which is the inevitable ossification of the institutional structures that is described by that myth.
What?
I wrote Osiris in the chat GPT, right?
Uh-huh.
And it said, this content may violate our usage policies.
What? No, you got to share that. That's. You wrote what?
I just wrote Osiris.
That's all you wrote, one word.
This content, yes, this content may violate our usage policies. Did we get it wrong?
Yeah.
Then it's like response 1 and response 2, which do you choose? Oh, that's because I asked it. I said Osiris and rent seeking, or ossification of institutions and rent seeking. Okay.
Okay. Say that again. You wrote what?
I wrote Osiris and ossification of institutions, semicolon, rent seeking. There you go. And no period even. It's like, okay. That's when it gave me that may violate our
Well, it's just agreeing with you.
what's that?
It's just agreeing with you. See this?
Yeah. Yes. The rent seeking it takes place in the interstitium, that is the unmeasured area of social construction. And that is the stranglehold by which the vine destroys the building.
Yes. All right. All right, okay. Now we gotta figure out the sovereignty question.
Which question?
Sovereignty.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you want?
Well, there it is. You wrote it. Bottom of the page. This is an interesting triad there. There's
Now we're working on this.
demonstrated interests, sovereignty, and reciprocity. Curt, it gets more interesting working with you every time. It's amazing to me. That's right. You ready for this, Curt? I'm reading about Osiris.
Wait a minute.
You'll like this part. Osiris, after his resurrection, Osiris becomes the judge of the dead.
Wow, I didn't know you could do this.
What is that?
Oh,
Wow. Wow, that's weird. Wow. How much does it remember? Is that just because it was on when you were doing all that stuff?
yeah.
It can know what you're doing on X?
No, no, it does it here. It knows what we're doing.
On Chat GPT.
So when it finds a principle,
Hmm.
right, it does memory updated. Okay, so here, you're given that. I don't know why I keep doing that. Yesterday, I found myself writing sections in Chat GPT instead of in the, and then copy and paste them in the book for some reason. I'm like, how the hell, Curt, keep your head in your ass.
Doesn't matter how you accomplish the creative work, sir. I like that little synopsis at the end.
Can't believe how much easier life is.
Uh-huh.
All right. Where's that?
What's that? It gives you a lot of fodder to work with, doesn't it?
That's
Hmm.
variability through behavior.
What's that?
Oh, it says there's more.
Where?
Variability. Oh, I wonder. It's not the right place. Well, it's fodder, but it's bad suggestions.
It makes bad suggestions on occasion.
Yeah. I mean, the general, the gist is right.
Yes. It requires some combing.
I think it's right. We just say it right up front. I just think it goes right here. Yeah, I think it goes all right in there. Because we want to ask the hard questions, right?
Yes.
We want that, we want to set up that frame. Right, but so we've set up the frame. Now we want to set up why, how the underlying logic of it.
Yes.
Where does my prompt?
Well, which is interesting. It's like this. So go back to the hard questions.
Yeah,
Is if you look at the hard questions in the light of the civilizational discourse that we just had,
yeah,
it's like the despots answered the hard questions differently than the Western aristocrats. The despots answer the questions all wrong because they don't need to be reciprocal.
really
So
good.
they quickly talk about it as Oriental despotism.
Yeah, failure. Oh, interesting.
What?
I have
Kurt,
to,
the answer is it's a comprehensive failure in the light of a conversation about the henshin. They can't think of it any other way. Oh, look at you. I'm studying your methodology because you're very productive, I must
I
say.
just use it as collaborative ideation. It's the same thing I do with you. I mean,
Yeah. Except it reads so much faster than I do.
oh shit. I think this is responsibility as well. Okay, I gotta have some more coffee.
Yes.
I'm
You
gonna
can stop recording. We're back. See?
I have a fresh cup of coffee. You too?
Mine is fresh, but it's my coffee cup is a little bit dingy.
Mine was clean when the outside was anyway, when we started, but I've managed to really dribble all over it this morning. So you were just making a very salient point.
We're looking at like a Venn diagram where we have demonstrated interest, sovereignty, and reciprocity, generating potential for cooperation.
Yep.
And we have the capacity of the language to specify or to function as a system of measurement, limiting the capacity of individuals to imagine behaviors. And then we have this question of trust, which is the answers to the hard questions, which is the limits of trust between individuals, right? All forming the basis for cooperative potentials within a society.
So what's interesting is
Yes. Hmm. It's human capital, right? There's the commons, right?
yep.
Oh, Hmm. Oh my. Amazing you can think of that.
Yep. A good paper yesterday on the sort of geometry of how the data structures emerge. And do it as a cloud so you can see the blobs
Yes.
and how these concepts are related in space. And there's a pretty big separation of associative versus causal chains. And
Okay.
like programming is a causal change and mathematics causal chain. But otherwise, it sort of looks like it's evolving toward brain regions, just like we did.
That sounds right.
It's a great example of how once you have language, the whole trick is getting enough neurons so you can have language. Once you have language, holy shit. Well, as we're saying, your rate of computation increases, and the evolutionary pressure it puts on it is huge.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I can't believe it understands it, but it does.
Yeah.
We should use it because it seems pretty valuable.
I think that section right there at starting at 1, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but where do we put it if we do put it?
Problem. It reasserts itself.
That's fucking beautiful, dude. I don't know. Seems a little early.
It's too early for the because it's getting into brainy stuff like neoteny and yes. I think it goes in the reciprocity. Hmm.
I think just scale of cooperation.
Say it again.
There's something to do with scale here.
Yes.
It really ties it together quite nicely. See, what is this style? That's 13.5 bold. That's all it is. I like that style. That works.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 12. Yeah, 12 isn't enough. That's pretty good. All right. Oh, that's good, Brad.
I like it.
This goes first. Oh,
You want one more pump? Mm. Mm. I would put trust in bold.
here.
Yeah. Mm. It's the prisoner's dilemma, isn't it?
Yes. Jeez, that's a great point to make here, since
That's
well,
the
got a
nature
lot
of the
of
progress.
huh?
The nature of the progress, right? The progression to demonstrated interest is the name of that sequence is the prisoner's dilemma.
Yeah. You know, I don't mention this one. I don't know why. But I was heavily influenced by Axelrod's um, Evolutionary scale form of cooperation. I don't talk about that, but I think that that book was really. I read it. In a hotel in the south of England with my wife
Hmm.
because I have a harder time adapting to. I have a pretty hard time adapting to time zones, but she has a harder time.
Mm-hmm.
When she was sleeping, I read that book, and it had affected me a great deal. See where I got this from?
Hmm.
Anyway, I want to bring it in here. I want to talk about it is growth. So what did you say? See, you got me on this. So
So what?
I just can't pull it back up. What you said, because now my mind is in a time frame of being in Southern England reading this book, and I'm trying to get back into the.
Okay, so the name of this sequence, demonstrate interest, sovereignty, reciprocity, is the prisoner's dilemma.
Is like he uses there.
Thank you. You can get rid of one of these. Yes.
Why do I want to put two N's in prisoner? I have no idea. I think it's because the two words go together.
Okay.
I think there's some subconscious thing there. All right. What happened there?
Fascinating. Huh. Needs a period. Yes. I would like to stop recording for a moment, so may I have some off moments with you, Curt? Yeah, you could.
So what did
Here
you
we
just
go.
say, Brad?
Pardon me?
I said you're right. We did
Yeah,
an
I said I will never grow tired of it. Carry on.
ouch.
This coffee in this particular mug, the Black Swan mug, is so tasty, Curt.
It's really good. It makes all the coffee always better.
Always better. That was a shameless plug for the Natural Law Institute mug. There's black ones too. I don't have a black one. I'm going to get a black one.
But I think we sold all these.
What?
This kind.
Oh, they're out?
I think we sold all those. We have to do another batch.
Another run.
I have to talk to what's his name there and get that set up.
Crank up the production lines, boys.
We were over at Francis's house the other day and using them.
I'm going over there right now and get the black one.
Yeah, I think this goes back here. This goes here. He answered the question.
Did we?
We'll just talk about it. All right, so we got some advice here.
Okay.
Can't remember which one.
Huh.
What's the deal? Why do I keep getting expired sessions? Oh, that's not what I was working with. This one's the one I was working with. And what's that one? That one's a different thing. All right. What are we on? okay, now I gotta go back and. This is reciprocity.
Okay.
Okay. And I said, this is not. This is okay. I do go into it here. Overloaded, I think. Need to change context. A minute. Okay, I need a break.
What?
I think I might need a break because I'm having trouble putting this in my head again.
Contextualization?
Yeah, because I've got a series of arguments that are overlapping, but I have to turn it into a story.
Yes.
I really like this beginning. And in context, we're supposed to be talking about reciprocity, but we have to talk about it in the context of what makes it meaningful, right? Why is it? So we have self-determination, self-determination, autonomy, choice, growth. We have that. So we go through it, we define it, and then we talk about the consequences of it.
Yes.
And there's language. I think what's bothering me is language.
What about it?
It's coming up as central to the point I'm making here instead of an adjunct to the point I'm making here.
Central versus adjunct, yes.
That's bothering me. I don't think that's right.
You don't think that's right?
No, I think it's right to say it. In other words, I don't think it's right that it's central. I want to just keep it about. Language is a consequential behavior. It's a limit.
So what?
It's
a limit? Yeah.
This is really fucking good here.
I think you should write that down.
Well,
Language as a limit, as a consequential behavior, and a limit. Yeah. I think that's right. Hmm.
Okay, now. Now does this definition go here?
Hmm.
Or does it go down here? Feels like it needs to move down.
Which definition is it?
The definition of reciprocity here.
Ah,
I mean, it can go, I'm just saying, is this in the right place? So we talk about
yeah.
we could talk about all that stuff. Or we could talk about reciprocity first and all that stuff. Which is what I've got here.
What is your immediate preference? Your intuitive predisposition.
Well, I think if you're going to refer to something, you should define it.
Okay.
But how do you get to talking about reciprocity? See, I mean, you have this, what the hell, you have to get there.
Okay.
See, I mean,
I think I like it above there. We're talking about this particular thing highlighted now to move.
well, yeah, I mean, it's like this thing right here is
Yes.
sort of necessary. This is sort of necessary to have the discussion.
Okay.
And then yeah, I don't know. I just think these definitions, it's not even that.
What does that mean?
Well, this explains the progression.
Right?
So it's part of trust. But this whole definitional thing feels like it needs to go. Here. I don't mean, we don't have to leave it this way.
I think that's a good bridge.
Right?
Because we already discussed demonstrated interests.
And then we go to this is the logic for cooperation, a set of tests, the basic definition of it, explain its consequences. Now this makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
This is really good. All right, so I think we should take this. Oh, that's really a subhead. So that's really one of these.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want these bulleted points. Do they need to be bulleted points? Oh, I don't know. I think I want to say more. I don't know, it's way clearer the other way.
Yeah.
And this goes. Here. Wait a minute.
Mm.
That's right. That's really good. Why are you not? Massage that later. No, just gonna put you that way.
Mm.
God damn it. I know it's possible. I don't fucking know.
Mm. Okay, next question. All right.
Nightmare question. Nightmare question.
Uh-oh. That's a
Well,
fair warning.
the implications are nightmarish.
What's that?
The implications are nightmarish.
Okay.
So you see how brief this is?
Yes.
For a lot of these things, they need a definition.
Yes. Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
The problem is that if we do that, what happens when we get to?
I understand. I understand. Because I was looking through that chapter yesterday. And I'm like, wow, that chapter is just awful.
That's just,
It made me mad.
well,
It made me mad.
it will be, yeah. You can't read it without getting angry. Okay, this is way better now. So I don't like this being here. I don't know where else to put it. Feels like I need to go. I'm gonna put it here. It'll work.
That's fair.
It'll work. Yeah, it's trying to imitate me here and it doesn't know what to say. So we need to talk about this. So we need a summary.
Yeah.
These are terrible.
What?
Oh, these are terrible.
Oh my.
This is, I feel so guilty sometimes, but this is what I need, I definitely need you for. I just don't, it don't work without Dr. Brad.
Hmm.
The whole "you're right all the time" thing is quite annoying though, but the value is there anyway.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. Self-determination.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna bold this colon just to make you happy.
Thank you.
Might have to bold this one too.
That's right.
I like messing with you.
Thanks, Curt. That makes us even, right?
How come I always feel like I'm on the losing end of
It's a victim status that you seek.
Yeah, I sort of see. Sovereignty.
Hmm. That's the causal chain right there.
What happened there?
That was kind of funny.
What beer we done?
Mm-hmm.
Please trust. Trust.
Mm-hmm.
And want to say.
Hmm. Yes. Thank you. You could replace that bit you're on where your cursor is now. Go up a little bit more. Keep going. There it is. Is necessary for building can be builds.
Well, I think it reads better this way.
Okay. See, I was wrong.
Well, I'm not sure you were wrong. I just want to. I want to emphasize that.
But necessarily builds. I'm just complaining about the copula there.
What you always do that is. So you always just move the subject. This is a most common problem I enter.
Necessitates, yes. And the other strange words we don't use very frequently. Sorry to distract you.
Oh, it's actually lovely. And when I was working on it, I was like, well, most of the time, we have the subject in mind that we want to clarify, and so we tend to move that, right? So it's sort of like how Latin is the ball the dog chased.
Mm.
Right? So the dog chased the ball. We have this same problem in it's a cognitive one that is the reason for our tendency to want to use the copula.
Mm-hmm.
It's more burdensome to put the context first,
Mm.
the subject, and then the context.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we do is we do what's easier for our brains.
Mm.
and to add the copula in between them. I noticed that in studying both English and German in particular,
Mm.
you have to hold too much stuff in your head compared to other languages. This German has that goofy, what do you call it? The relation comes at the end of the sentence.
They break the verbs. Compound verbs. It's like it's an adverbial function.
Hello. It did it again.
Oh my, how rude. It's not letting you do it.
It's just, it's Saturday morning, so it's busy. They also added this new feature. I don't know if you know, but
Wow.
it'll search the web when it needs to now.
Hmm.
Yes. The German retains more of the archaic. Hey, going to the store. Yeah, this is what makes German hard. See, and they don't have the,
Hmm.
they don't do the copula thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
As the book read. Germans talk like Yoda. It's trying to get a reaction out of you in that one. All I got was a
Just trying to keep up, brother. I'm like feeling bad. I'm sending you down rabbit holes.
okay. I was getting burnt out on because I couldn't hold that all in my head, but you got me through it. Thank you. All right. I'm gonna say that's what we want. And I'm gonna ask you to deal with
Hmm.
me on this issue.
Oh, yes.
So what do we do, Brad?
Okay.
Externality, transfer,
Okay.
exchange.
I think you make a special note and put them in the glossary.
I would agree.
Can you like put a little dagger there or something like that? Because it's like, okay, you get my framing there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's rules. Where the hell is it? Here it is, in here. footnote, footnote, footnotes below text, end note, end of document. That's what we want. That didn't work out very well.
Whoa.
Not what I want. So, reveal codes. How do I get this to show me what it says? Oh, I see. Yeah, we're doing pretty. I didn't realize we got this far in the book.
What do you mean?
It's not, the rest of this stuff, except lying is a pain in the ass, but the rest of it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So where is? All right, so we got this. So as I insert, oh, I know what's going on. Insert, footnote, end note, end of document, footnote layout, columns.
Hmm.
I don't know what the hell that means. Number format. I just want 1, 2, 3. Continuous. Fly. Did it go? I don't see any. Oh, I see. Insert. Footnote, end note.
There you go.
Yeah, what I didn't realize is the number's just small.
Yes.
Come on.
Hmm.
Okay, put it this way. Just gonna.
Uh-oh. Is that you?
What?
My computer made a noise.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why. And now I'm holding the bag in some fashion.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Why would you make that noise?
All right. I know how to do this. This is not the time to do it though.
Whoa. Okay. Added it at the end.
Well, the terms are here, right?
Okay.
The problem is, how do you link them? And so you want to cross-reference, I think, is what I want instead.
Okay.
So at the end, of the document.
Okay.
You should be able to get rid of this.
Okay.
And I should be able to go back to
Yeah.
here. Go to there, take that off. And I should be able to this, insert, cross-reference.
Hmm. That's interesting.
I'm gonna have to read up on cross-references, because I think it would have just told me is I have to number them in order to find them. Right?
That makes sense. That sounds hard. You could do this is to look up every one and then substitute in a reference index.
Say that again?
You could do a search for that word
Yes,
and then substitute that word with a referenced index.
right. The problem is you do that at the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do that now, right? So all I care about is hazards.
Mm-hmm.
So I do this, and I go, boom, oops, hazards.
That's close.
Right, and I go, I think I can do it this way,
Yes, that's the way I was thinking.
right? That, and that, hazard. Oh, it's because I pluralize it.
Hmm.
So the terms are here, it's a matter of linking them.
Mm-hmm.
Got a program to write to do that.
What?
There's got to be a program that does that. I don't care. I'm willing to sit there at night, watch a bad movie. I watched a really good bad movie last night. I'm happy to sit there and watch a bad movie and just do it, or get one of the guys to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I get 5 of the guys to do it. Handle it. Everybody do a page. All right, so we'll do it with what if I'm with a word.
Hmm.
See if it goes out to the web for that. Oh, we'll just use the same goddamn word. This is probably better.
Hmm.
All right, so just make an anchor
Yeah,
each of them, and then we'll just do the bookmarks. All right,
that's easy enough.
easy enough. All right, I get out of this now, right? Great. Now go
There
back.
you go, automation. Did you see that? The GPT gave you the automation of it. Oh,
Yeah, that's what we'll do. What does that mean? Oh, I don't want to use that. I'm okay with this.
okay.
All right. Back to, I don't have any food here, so I'm gonna have to freeze.
You reaching the end of your duty cycle?
Yes, but we did a good work today.
We did.
So we have to start, no. We have to do this
Okay.
up here.
Okay.
I think we need to do those things up here. Is that, what is that?
Acquisition, self-determination.
Yeah, all right, this is just me sitting and staring at the screen and writing, so, but I think you got us through this section.
So you lined up for a shop for tomorrow?
Let's figure that out.
Oh boy. We're approaching falsehood, which is frightening. I thought this section was quite solid.
Really good, actually. Okay. Where is it? Four, 6, 7. Where's truthfulness? Yeah. I think that's in the wrong place. All right, we'll work on truth tomorrow. What does falsehood look like? Oh, it's scary as fuck.
I think we can get done with that one. with the truth easily.
Yeah,
Falsehood is another matter. It was pretty good too, but it needs a review, I suppose.
all in all, it's way better. Every time I look, I get away from it and come back to it.
Hmm.
It's better than I think. I think I really shouldn't have worked on it when I was sick. Didn't help any. Shit, this is quite good. All right. Oh, geez, Brad, we're gonna get through this.
Yes, sir. It'll be faster than you think.
Because all the hard stuff was up here.
Yes.
I need to work on the grammars by myself and then get you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna want to go over first principles one more time with you. But I think otherwise it's really getting there, boss.
Yes, sir.
Where's the sharing thing?
Uh-oh.
Stop sharing. We do our clocks tomorrow.
Do we say it again?
We do our clocks tomorrow.
Oh, I don't. You do. So you're gonna fall back, and that makes it you're gonna be an hour behind me. Oh my.
Take me a few days to adjust. That's all. I think you guys do it right.
It is not do it is the right answer. It's like, how do we not do this?
Well, I mean, the proposal's sitting out there. Nobody will enact it. I don't understand why.
Well, but each state has to decide, right? And it's okay. I think that when the states get empowered by the devolution of power away from the federal government, they will do it.
Yeah, so let me ask. So example, a lot of it's a pain in the ass when people change time zone shit.
Yes.
Because there are time zone files.
Oh.
So for example, if I want to change a time zone, I'm thinking of the databases I know.
Right.
I know most of them. You basically have to upload a time zone. And everything is all time zones that are all data is usually stored in GMT, right? And you display it based on a variation from GMT.
Right.
Does that make sense? But you still have to update all these fucking database systems, not the data, but the table that it uses to figure out how to do that conversion.
Yes.
Which I can't remember how. I don't know. It's fine. I remember how many times I've had to manually update that table because why isn't it fucking just in there in the first place? I don't know. All right. Yeah. Okay. So today's been Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. It was a working session. I had a blast. It was really successful. Thank you very much. I would keep going for another hour, although I'm starting to lose my voice again. And not that you object to that part. The voice, but I didn't buy enough groceries to have around this morning so that we could work the extra hour. Anyway, so you do your spot thing.
My turn to shine in the sun. It's an opportunity for the audience to hit subscribe, and then the like button, and then the notification bell, and then to leave those comments that we so revel in.
Yes, sir. We love our comments. All right, guys. Love you all. Brad, thank you so much for what you do. I'm sure I'll talk to you tonight. We'll review anything, and then tomorrow we'll get to work on truth. And then we, next we'll have to deal with falsehood. Oh my God.
After a time dilation.
Oh my God. All right. I love you, man. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll see you later. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.